Okay, so this is the new video about uh, keying motion blur and about this little guy here that I posted a while ago, a couple of days ago on the community tab on YouTube. And so why I'm doing this right now? Well, first, because I couldn't manage to produce the footage for the camera track, the last tutorial on the camera track series, which is supposed to be like a complex camera track. Turns out that is more uh, has been complicated for me to go out and shoot. So if anyone has a good footage that would be a good exercise for a complex camera track, please just comment on this video and then we can chat and yeah, and then I can get the footage if you guys have it. But for now, there is also keying and Despill, which is a very important stuff. The Despill especially is something that a lot of people take for granted, or they don't really think it's a part of the keying. So I see a lot of people using gizmos because to be honest, there are some amazing gizmos for Despill, and that made people not really know how to do Despill anymore, because they rely so strongly on those gizmos. And yeah, so what happens often is that, I don't know, for some reason in a studio you are in a pool of machines for a specific project, and the gizmo that you are very used to use is not available. Then yeah, you don't have the knowledge how to do it. And this is it's bad, because you will encounter situations that the gizmos will not give you the perfect result. So what's going on here? Let's go through the, see, like all the pixels are there. Yeah, so there are several ways of doing this. So the first thing you need to do is that we rely on a good alpha for Despill, to do a proper Despill. Because if you do a Despill that is too invasive, to invade too much, and you don't have a good alpha, you will have edges and all that stuff. So having that said, I did here a very quick alpha. I'm focused more on the motion blur area. I'm not very focused on what's happening here. There is a lot of Despill here, see? So we can fix that, but I'm not focused on that for the alpha. The key, focus on this. I'm gonna go step by step on how I managed to get to this place via two options, as you guys can see here. You can have two, and this is the gizmo, most likely the one everyone is used to use, but there are several like this. So this is one approach to the Despill, and we have a switch here, and this is the other approach. So see, different results. And this is a bit blue because I was testing how to have it on a different color. So let's bring it back to a nice and warm color, and then you see that it's very similar. All right. So what's the idea between the of the Despill? That is one of the most important things about comping this stuff, is that we need to have very close to the edge of the subject, in this case this woman, a similar color here. Because see, the pixels, they end here on this line, but when you have an alpha, your alpha will not be this perfect. And see how the green pixels kind of blend together with her skin tone? They're kind of mixed. So we need to have a little bit of the color of her color. Let me push the paint mode here. We need to have a little bit of color of the area we want. This color needs to go here, or this color on the very edge needs to be here. And this is valid for everything. Like this color needs to go here. So one of the solutions for keying is definitely to expand the edge. That's totally fine. But on cases like this, just can't. It's not gonna work. So how can we approach this? And keep in mind that the quality of this is not the best, but for the exercise, this is really good. This is from a website. Let me check the name real quick here. I'll leave the link on the description of the video, but it's called hollywoodcamerawork.us. They have a lot of stuff, and I was looking for footage to so I can do all the tutorials I'm planning to do. So they have footage like this, this for tracking. We can have a tracking like approach for this shot. For shots like this, we can have several approaches on how to do it. There is never just one way to do stuff. Say that camera tracking. Maybe we can do this one as well. I mean, they have a lot of footage, so I can test a lot, try things, and yeah, it's very interesting. So yeah, go check them out. It's the description on the video. You'll find the link to the page where they host the files. This is also interesting. It's for shadow extraction, and we can do an exercise about this one also. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Extreme despilling situation, this one here, for example. But anyways, so we can also try that one. So back to the point we were before. So in case like this, it's not ideal to expand the edge because that's not really gonna help. So okay, so let's do a quick key like this, and then we see what happens with the Despill. So I'm guessing. Okay, let's go step by step on the IBQ key color here. So the idea is, so first we don't use just one keyer and have a good result. That's never the case, never. We need to combine several keyers for areas of the image. That's why we have roto masks here. So this is something that I do for my base. I always use the IBQ for my base keyer. So I'm not gonna do the whole stuff again, but this one is focused on Despill. I'll have one focus on keying. But basically, you want to tweak the settings here so that this dark, which is the mask, you go all over the skin tone and only on the green. So see, something like this maybe. Yeah. Why? Because we want to push the green color inside for the IBQ. So if you leave it like this, with a bunch of the skin tone, your key will not be good. So we need to get it something like this. Yeah, and then when you change the size here, you see it will stretch the pixels, and there is no skin tone there anymore. But if we leave the stuff like this and stretch, see, the skin tone is there. So pretty simple stuff. Make it flat like this. You can also erode a little bit. Usually this is, if you have a good green, you don't need to do it. But anyways, So as soon as you get one good IBQ, you can duplicate, and everyone I believe is familiar with this technique. That you just duplicate and expand. And then you connect to the IBQ gizmo, which is this little guy here. So just switch the one we just did now. And this guy will perform a difference, a sophisticated difference between this, which is this, and this. So this we are effectively creating something like a clean plate. There are several other tricks you can do. You can add a blur node here. And this will, see how it will change. It will change the softness of the key. This is also good. All right, I'm gonna go into detail about this. So this is the base, and then I have a key light here. I always have a key light. Very similar results, see, but the key light is softer. So the IBQ is giving me like more solid arm and the motion blur stuff, but the key light gives me a softer one, which is also good. And then I have a normal chroma key specifically for the strong alpha that I need, like solid alpha. I max both of them, so it goes from this to this. And then I'm just clamping the values here, because I'm not clamping because of this, because of noise. I'm just in this section here, I'm focused on the arm, on the solid part, because I already have a nice solid, nice soft alpha here. So this is for the solid. That's why I have the alpha like this. So I'm clamping just this to have like a solid black here. Then I max that on top. And then on the side, I also have this and this. This is two chroma keys. This is also usually what I do to generate an even stronger one for this section here. You don't need to go as this strong, you see. For this section of the dress, and then you max that on top. So yeah, so then you have a quick, good alpha, and yes, this screen is very, very easy, so no problems there. And then let's go to the Despill section. Like I said, we can have a couple of ways of doing this. This is kind of a more sophisticated way somehow. What's the idea? You just pick a color. Let me do this from scratch. Let's build this. We have two solutions here. You can see the switch. So let's build this guy from scratch. Okay, so we get the key light. I take light to the plate. I'm gonna do it like a new one here, so it's not a mess. The idea is to get the green, not the dark green. The dark green is the motion blur. So to get the solid green, the green right next to the dark green. Okay. Build the constant. Then we can connect the color. So now you get here a constant with the color picked on the light. We want to minus the key light from the plate. If we minus it, get a Despill mask, basically. And then we can have a saturation. We need to have a saturation because the idea is to get a luminance mask. So the same level of saturation goes on the Despill mask and on the color. Okay. And now we can plus it on top of the key light. We are not even using this for now, but we will soon. So what's happening here? The key light gave us the mask, gave us the color that we want. So it removed all the green from the image. So when you subtract this, you get exactly the only difference between both of them is the green. So you zero the saturation because you want to have a luminance pass. Then you plus this on top of the key light result. So you add back all the pixels the key light removed that used to be green, you add them back as neutral. So you have this. The blur is there. But now it's not black because you don't have green pixels anymore. So we cannot have the darker green, but they are just skin tone. So this is already a very good Despill. That's very good. Okay. If you want to take this and advance this a bit more, and then we can go to what's happening here. So what's going on with this setup here? Let me push this up, maybe like this. Okay. So the idea, but then if your background is not gray, that is kind of neutral, maybe this will work in some cases. For this area here, probably yes, but maybe for this area, probably not. But the idea is to have the Despill setup kind of dynamic, and so you can tweak. So what I do is I just pre-multiply the key light here, and then I have this little setup here. It's just a blur, and this another blur is also connected to this blur here. Let me show you what kind of operation is happening here. This is this same blur, but divided by 2.5. So if you change the value here, see the value of the other one is divided by 2.5. You can tweak this to 3, to 2, and then you see what happens better for in your case. But what's the idea is to expand the edges, especially for the solid area. See, you don't need to go crazy. It's just a little bit. Just a little bit. This is for the solid areas, not really for this. And in this case, I even have a rolled here. So this guy is expanding the edge for me, right? So let's use the green on our calculation here. So I want to divide this guys here. Let me build this real quick. And this, just copy because it's already done. Okay. So I'm gonna divide this guy by this color here. Then multiply switch this. No. Be like this, yeah. And this guy. So in this case, we're adding a bit of an edge here. See, it's pushing the edge out. See, it's pushing this blue color on right on this dark edge. It's just a little bit. See, all right. So that is how you do edge extension for the hard parts of the image. And then you have this. If you use this as the previous alpha you had, you have this. This is totally already working. Totally. If we jump the stuff and go only for this guy and plus on top of the Despill, it will also work, but it's different. See? So if I switch to this one, which is just to use the Despill channel, the difference between the key light and the plate, which is this little guy here, zero saturation, and plus this on top of the key light result, which means bringing back all the pixels that used to be green but now they are neutral. And this is my RGB. This is the alpha I did before. Just copying the channel here, multiply on top. This is already fine. You can improve this. See, but this is not bad at all. So to improve this, I'm gonna switch to the third example. But now let's continue. How this is the other option here is doing well. We can have one thing, which is this little guy here, that you can add a little bit of a piece here that will give us the option to change the color of the background. We change this color to match the background color of our footage. So now, if we just switch to this guy, you see you can have a very soft, also good motion blur. You have a bit stronger motion blur. Why? Because we have here a color that's not solid gray. It's not the gray. We are using this one here in this case. If you switch, see, it's a brighter gray, like a strong, almost white, because this is the green with zero saturation. So this is a luminance map. If we switch to this little guy, it's affected by the color of this guy here, this constant. And as the result is a bit more maybe complete, like maybe a bit better, because we have more of the motion. We can see more of it. So that's a subjective thing, and your supervisor may ask you to remove it because it's too strong, it's a bit ugly. Maybe you say, no, leave it like that. That's good. But the cool stuff is we are adding. Also, we can, of course, do like this and jump the whole stuff. And then we will not get the cool alpha, a cool edge extension here. In this case, not even visible. See? Yeah. So I get this, then I'm maxing this on top. So what this is giving me, what this is doing is I'm changing the color on the luminance level. So this guy here, okay, let's jump there. Let's take the, I think this is getting a little bit confused. Let's take the edge extension out of the way for now. Forget about this. Let's focus only on this guy here. So the simple way is to just plus the luminance channel on top of the key light. Okay, that's good. If we want to be able to change the color of the background, we can divide the green connected to key light, no saturation, divided by the color that you want, and then you multiply that on top of your luminance mask. So what is effectively doing is that pushing this color on top of the luminance mask. And then you plus this on top of the key light result. So we are changing the color on the luminance moment. This is the luminance moment. So we will not have edges here. It's impossible to have, because you're not changing the color after the key light is done, after the Despill is done. Like, we are not forcing color, we are changing it here. And as you can see, we can have whatever color we want. If, let's say, if we have a blue, a blue background in this U-Haul stuff, let's pick a really crazy one here. Like a strange blue like this, and then it's not gonna work, right? Yeah, so if you go here and find this strange color, see, then it works again. If you don't, if you use a wrong one, then it's not gonna work. So what this is gonna do you? How this can help you? By adding this step, this little step here, to divide the color that you need by the green without any saturation, which is the luminance, and then multiply that on top of the luminance mask and plus it on top there. What's happening? This is giving you, this is not supposed to give you the Despill for the whole image, but this is showing you that you can have this for the parts that you need. So, because the Despill is not one guy that will fix it all for you. So let's say the image, let's make some crazy thing just to show an example here. Let's see the image. Let's say the image is, whoops, I thought I had this circle. Let's say the image is purple like this for some reason, right? So I want this stuff to be only affected by this same area. See? And then it's really good here, but not there. If we move the mask, you see what I'm talking about. See? Why? Because I'm pushing the color that I find that helps, that works with this stuff, only where it's needed. On a real shot, you will not have an image like this, obviously. You have an image with whatever color like this, and then your Despill, if she goes over the green, let's transform here, make that. Okay, yeah, see, then it's not gonna work. So, but if you get finished tone, then it starts to work. That's great, but it's not gonna work on the white. Ah, but that's fine. That's not never gonna be a Despill that will work for the whole stuff for you. Then you have to actually mask or key. You can key here. Let's see if a normal key will do the trick. Apparently, yes. And that's great. Mask this guy. So it will add the green only where it makes sense for us, right? So we have a mask here now, see? And then we can have another setup just like this, but with a different color for the white stuff, for example. That's fine. Let's make it. Let's do it now. Or you can just invert this guy. Let's see if it will work. Most likely in a real life situation, you will have to mask stuff and actually make masks. Wait, what? Okay, so this guy is here. Yeah, we want to add here actually. I want to divide this one again. To divide this one. because we need a different color here so I can see what's happening. See, all right. And there, it's done. Already working well. So if you push it back on the white areas of the image, it's not gonna work. Even on top of the truck, it's not good. But if you push it a little bit because the background is brighter, then yeah, fix it again. And you can add this as many times as you want, of course. No one is, it's not something that it's uncommon. That's not the case at all. So usually the Despill area on a real shot will be quite big because we will have to use a lot of this. There's a couple of different approaches you can have. Like, in a strange case, on a strange situation, you may need to do edge detect. Let's do another one. Let's do one here on the alpha. And I'm using all normal nodes. I know people will go over and using gizmos a lot. So in some cases, you may need to do a edge detect and then apply like the very edge for Despill and then mask and then use this as a Despill. This can happen, especially on hairs. Let's see if we can get a hair thing here. Yeah, let's see. Just switch out, trust my Despill that I'm gonna just switch this. Okay, the transform, all good. Because we have keys, I just kill the transform, it's not gonna make any difference. Let's see. Yeah, what is different? Let's see the format here. Okay, HD. I think the plates are 720, yeah. Right. Well, of course my key didn't work, but let's see the Despill how it's holding. Yeah, this is giving us a pretty good Despill already. Let's see. I think we just have to improve the king. That the king here was not done for this image. So let's do this. See, IBK color. Let's do a quick one here. Green. This one is a bit more tricky, but let's do it. You want to get the green without the hair. Let's see if we can. It should be okay. You can try the same trick here. Good. Yeah. Can tweak this a little bit. Solid key here. Yeah. This one's not working at all. So I'm not gonna lose all of this. So I'll just keep it on the other one. But anyways, just for the Despill, you see the Despill is kind of okay-ish here. Yeah, if we have a proper alpha, This will work for sure. Let's go back to focusing on the Despill of this one here, because this is the motion blur stuff. Okay, another way to do it. So this is the way that we built using the Despill for, which is a very good way to get from the simple Despill, which is the neutral one, because sometimes our plate behind will not be neutral. I don't think the neutral Despill is the goal always. We need to have the Despill that will not give us edges. That's the goal. And if it's neutral or not, I don't know. If the background is very pink or whatever, so your Despill cannot be neutral. So then the Despill needs to be whatever you need. And another good solution is to use just the key light as itself, and this is also viable solution. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take this guy out. Let's do another option here for the Despill from scratch using only key light, which will be several key lights without any of this fancy stuff. This it's cool because it gives us the option to change the colors. If the plate changes or whatever happens, you can just come here, tweak it. If you have good keys on the plate that goes behind, this will most likely hold, but we can also do more like manual stuff, no problem. So you usually for the Despill, if you just stick one here, it will remove all of the green pixels, and then it will give you kind of a not so bad result. See, I'm enabling it and disabling the key light, and the skin tones is not changing. It's removing the green, but because of this footage is not very high quality, you will see all this compression artifacts here. On a real shot, you most likely will not have this problem. See, it kills the green. So just by putting one on the key light, it will give you a very good start point. It's not 100% perfect. See how there's a bit of a green here still? And we don't want darken areas on a motion blur. It's quite the opposite, because we know that our background is bright. So, all right. So how can we change it? So this is where you can tweak key light screen color to give you the color that you actually need. So what I usually do is just, as I said, like a wipe. Let's see if I can find a good color for all the stuff up. Yeah, so see, we need to get this color. Let's see how close can we get. It's brighter, so we are going there. Oops, almost this. Almost this. Whoops. Too much. Yeah. And this will be enough. So if we just switch to this, we are losing some of the detail, but we can improve this. Let's go. Let's try a bit darker. See how it will done. See, it's basically exactly the same. See, maybe there's a tiny little difference. Yeah, and obviously, as we know, this is not like a one Despill for the whole image. This is for the motion blur area, and then you need to maybe you can leave this one as a like a basic one, and then we can do a Despill for this area. Let's do it. Highlight. Most of the edge, you can fix most of the edge just by doing a very good Despill. Spend some time doing Despill, and you have less edge troubles. Definitely. Okay. Let's see. So the idea is here is I have this as a base that we know that the motion blur area works fine. Most of the stuff works fine. And I'm gonna do another one and key mix it where the color of the stuff is different. All right, the color of the pixels are different. See how bad this is. All right, so let's do it. Let's start again with one. Bit of a blow. Too strong. We need to match this. And then you need to really test it, you know. What? Okay, found it. So see, it adds like a light blue color to that area. Let's see if we can actually see a difference on this footage. Yeah, we can. See, the Despill that we did before, that is very good for the motion blur. It kind of made the whole stuff here a bit, yeah, because there's a lot of green reflecting on the dress. It removed too much, so it looks a bit dull. So this guy pushes back the cool blue. So we can have this like soft. So this is already a good result. And if you go doing this a lot on every area that you need, moving on the timeline, see what happens with the footage. You may need to animate this and have this on and off or whatever. This will give you less edge problems. If you have a good alpha, which is not difficult to have, and you have a good Despill. Yeah. I covered too much on this, I think. Maybe a little bit too much. We can try to, and we can even switch the background here. You guys can see what happens. See. So now our Despill is a bit too bright, and then we can go back to this guy here. And find this, and also I think I have a crazy gray. Yeah, let's have the footage as it is, so it's much darker. See? Yeah. So and then you can go back to the key light and change this. Yeah, something like this. See, the motion blur area is good again. And if we switch to this other solution here we used to have before. We can tweak the color. It's kind of a brownish, reddish stuff in between, and done. So that's the thing. If you have a good Despill, motion blur will not be a problem. No, it's too bright. Now it's too bright. Yeah, the plate, this plate of the hand, it has a dark line here, but this will be there. And if they ask you to remove, that's a whole different stuff. But see, the pixels are as they should be. Yeah. So I hope this can help people to not be afraid of motion blurring stuff anymore. This works for everything. I'm gonna do, because now I have a bunch of footage, I'm gonna do some keying involving hair, which will be mostly focused on Despill, because the Despill is where the whole stuff, the whole trick lies. Good hair keying with the amazing tools we have today, it lies on the Despill, because the hair gets a lot of contamination from the key, from the green screen. Yeah, see, some of the hair is just too thin, but we can recover all of this basically by using this same approach for the Despill. The difference is that we will have a mask here and add it to the hair, like we have here for the dress. We have another one for the hair, and that's it. So this was the motion blur Despill keying tips and tricks, and I hope you guys like this one. And next one I will go for the hair keys, keys and Despill. Thank you, and I hope you guys watch. And again, if you have like good footage that you want to go to test camera tracking and stuff, send it to me, and I'll see if this is a valid experiment or not. Because again, like ultra mega complicated shots for camera track will most likely go to match image department. So I think we can test complex ones as soon as I manage to shoot something, or if someone has something, please contact with me, and then we can see if it's useful or not. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one. The next one will probably be the hair, how to approach a shot with lots of hair and a green screen. Right, see you guys. Thank you.